Swamin Namaste Natalokabandho Karunya Sindho Patitam Bhavabdhau Mamuddharatmiya Kataksha Drishtya Rijvyati Karunya Sudhabhivrishya Swamin Namaste Swamin Namaste Swamin Namaste Swamin Namaste Akashavalle paviduragoham Adityavadbhasya vilakshanoham Aharyavan nitya vinischaloham Ambodhivat paravivarjitoham Akashavalle paviduragoham Adityavad bhasya vilakshanoham Aharyavan nitya vinischaloham Ambodhivat paravivarjitoham Sarvadharam Sarvavastu prakasham Sarvakaram Sarvagam Sarvashunyam Nityam Shuddham Nischalam Nirvikalpam Brahmadvaitam Yat Tadevahamasmi Brahmadvaitam Yat Tadevahamasmi. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. So we were discussing the second chapter, a letter to a householder devotee from the book to the householder. Unfortunately here the original letters are not there and only the replies are there, but still it is beneficial for not only householder devotees and seekers but also for every seeker. In the first chapter Swamiji spoke about how the body is the house of the imperishable self. So, living in this world, staying in a house, we should never forget that the body with which we do all our activities, and not only activities, the part, the mind, the intelligence, the senses, apart from the hands, feet and all sense organs. Whatever we do, we think, all because of this body, in which is the imperishable self, which is the power that enlivens this body and activates this body. And in that letter, Swamiji constantly gives a call to the householders that you are staying in a house, but the purpose of the house will be fulfilled properly only when we keep on remembering our Creator, the Creator who has created this perishable body in which lives the imperishable self. And how do we do it? We have to constantly use the mind and intelligence which God has given us, the Creator has given us. We can think we can discriminate, we can come to decisions using the mind and intelligence which God has given us, and the main purpose of having a mind and intelligence is to constantly introspect and feel, have questions. What is this world? Who am I? What are these activities? Who all is responsible for all the thoughts, all the work that I am doing? What is this life for? And what is the purpose and aim of this life? In the second letter, Swamiji so says that cultivate a new outlook. And what is this new outlook? He says that in this world, we are always wanting happiness, joy, delight. And we are always wanting objects of delight, objects of joy and happiness. So, we find that when we get what we want, we are happy and delighted. But all those happiness, they are dependent on something or other. It can be some gross object, it can be some people or some place or some situation or some activity. That is, our joy and delight depends on something different from us. So Swamiji in this letter is telling us that have focus with your mind and intelligence. Start thinking, start introspecting. There is a joy which is independent of anything whatsoever. So, the mind should start thinking, is there any joy which is not dependent on any object? And Swamiji says, these are words of the Guru, he says that there is, and everybody can have and attain that joy. Only we have to cultivate a new outlook, a new attitude. Why is he saying to cultivate a new attitude? Because mostly, commonly, ordinarily, we only look outside for objects which will give us joy. Very rarely we look into ourselves where the self is, and I am the self. Deep within us is that self which empowers us, makes us do all activities, everything. It is the source of everything. We don't look at it. We don't try to find out that ever present joy in us which is independent of anything. So, Swamiji in this letter is saying that start the process of observing your mind. Start the process of observing your mind, and it will definitely benefit you. See, we very rarely observe our own mind. Why the mind is thinking like this? Mind is thinking constantly, and thoughts are coming and going, coming and going. We may be sometimes very peaceful, sometimes joyous, sometimes irritated, sometimes jealous, sometimes sorrowful, but very rarely we start thinking why the mind is behaving like this, why the mind shuttles between joy and sorrow, why sometimes it is complainful and sometimes it is very satisfied. So, observe the mind. Swamiji says, starts the process of observing the mind. When we observe, we will find each response of the mind is actually associated with something or other which has happened in the day or sometime in the life. And mostly the mind is disturbed, whether it is joy or sorrow, or it has these responses of joys and sorrow because of some kind of desire or other. So start the process of observing your mind, and it will definitely benefit you. You should intensify and regularize this practice. Now, my dear children, I want to say that all these, I keep on saying this every day, I think, that these are not just something that I am reading and I am trying to give my own commentary to all of you, but I understand and share it with you. It's not that. These are the words of the realized master, and the realized masters, they want every human being to have delight, everlasting delight in their life. They want everybody to be unaffected in life. The life will have waves, sometimes big waves, sometimes small waves. There will be ups and downs, so many situations one will have to face. But a Sadguru or a realized Guru, he wants to teach everybody that there is a way to live in this world without getting affected or without getting bound by the situations. So that is why he is saying you should intensify and regularize this practice. It's not that, oh, acha, we have to observe our mind and we just hear it. We should practice it and be regular in the practice. Just like for the body, we regularly take food. We regularly give some time to take rest and sleep. That is for the body. But for the mind, for the benefit of the mind, we have to do these practices which our teachers, our masters tell us. Because they have tread that path. They have done it. They have practiced this. And they know the benefit of all these practices. It should be like food and drink to the body, air to the lungs. Swamiji is saying this in the next sentence, that these practices should be regularly done. And how will we become regular? Again, by observing the mind, the thought processes. We must think that, oh, food and drink is necessary for the body, air is necessary for the lungs for us to breathe, and that is how we can live. Similarly, for the mind to be quiet, mind to be peaceful, mind to be ever joyful, these practices are also necessary. Your weak mind will grow in strength. Your diffidence will transform into confidence. Hasten the course by this mind exercise and inner efforts. Do not fail or miss. Very, very clearly, absolutely in a straight manner, he is just hitting with an arrow. Swamiji is giving this instruction that do not delay this mind exercise and do not fail or miss at all. When introspection graces your mind, peace will begin to dawn. When we start introspection, like we start observing the mind, we understand that we will find that so many things are coming and going and the mind is not restful. When we start introspecting for the cause of the restlessness, we'll find that certain things are absolutely unnecessary. And we will find our own solutions to the agitations of the mind. Peace will begin to dawn, because if we start looking at our own thoughts, we'll find that mind is disturbed either because of likes or because of dislikes. This is the only thing that agitates the mind. Mind is anxious and it's stressed by the thought that I want this, and suppose I don't get this. And also it becomes turbulent, tormented by the thought that what I do not like, suppose I get that. So, for every situation, the mind is either in fear or in anxiety. That is why. So naturally, whether you like something or you dislike something, the mind is not restful. When we understand and start going into the cause of this dislikes and cause of the dislikes, whether we can go beyond them, whether it is absolutely necessary, and we understand that certain things are not that it is indispensable, we can do without them, or we need not be anxious. We need not be anxious. We will say some activity we take up, with some actions we are doing, we should do it well. And we cannot say what will be the result. We always want the best result, definitely all we will want. But suppose it doesn't come. So we should be, by introspection and reasoning, reflection, rumination, we can make our mind become equanimous to all the situations. And we should be able to become strong, accepting, ready to accept any outcome. That readiness for any outcome, to accept any outcome, that makes the mind calm. Only because we want a particular outcome, we become restless. So that is why introspection is very essential. And Swamiji says, peace will begin to dawn. The intelligence that looks at the mind within is the same as the one that thinks and reasons for other matters too. And to do this introspection, what is necessary? Intelligence is necessary. We have to apply our intelligence to get into the source of our disturbances. Then analyze and assess that whether we can do without these anxieties. So Swamiji is saying in this sentence that we are applying our intelligence in everything in life. Say we are living, we have a family. Every day we have to live and eat. Say some dresses will be necessary, food will be necessary, one will send the children to school, so money will be necessary. So one has to earn money. One will also wish that one acquires more money, lives in comfort. So to do all these things, are we not applying our intelligence? We are thinking of better and better methods, how we can be more and more comfortable, how we can keep the family in a better manner, etc. Whether one is a student, whether one is a housewife, whether one is a professional, everybody has to use the intelligence to be better in life. That same intelligence, when it goes inside the mind, all that one tries to achieve is outside, in the outside world. But the same intelligence can be made to acquire a habit of going inside and see the mind, why the mind is getting disturbed, and pick up the thorn and throw it out. Seldom do we employ the intelligence for spiritual introspection by which the mind's problems get dissolved. So very ordinarily we are not given to this spiritual introspection, that is looking into our own mind. We suppose one is angry, one will feel that I am angry. What is the cause of the anger? Very rarely we get into it. So Swamiji is telling in this letter that use the intelligence for spiritual introspection by which the mind's problems will get dissolved. If introspection is pursued well, it will make the mind thinner and lighter, and finally transparent, when it will begin to radiate peace and joy. So I had referred to one shloka from Yogavasishtha Ramayana. It says that Vasishtha Deva is telling Sri Rama, Vicharat Tikshnata Metya Dhihi Pashyati Param Padam Dirgha Samsara Rogasya Vicharohi Mahaushadham. This Dirgha Samsara Roga, what is this Samsara Roga? Worldly afflictions or worldly disease. You can call it worldliness. That is, in this world, when we live, we are burdened with anxiety, fear, desires, possessiveness, attachment. The mind always is burdened. And this burden is called bondage. Now, how nice it would be to live freely, where we don't have any burden in the mind. We feel free. Whatever comes, it's okay. Whatever comes, I accept. Whatever goes, it's okay. I do not get affected. Can there be a state like this? And all our scriptures say that it can. There is a state like that, where staying where, remaining where, even the greatest of calamities will not make you feel drowned in it. So, when we have proper introspection, there will be peace and joy. So in this shloka it says, Vicharat Tikshnata Metya. That vichara should be sharp and subtler. That is, we have to spend time in it. Just like when we want to acquire something, we put our mind in it, we think of many ways how to go about it, how to proceed. Say for education, if somebody feels that I should be good in studies, then I should get a good job, I should rise in my field, how much study, how much effort, how much hard work is necessary. Similarly, to get this radiant peace and joy which fills the mind, actually that is our true nature. That is our true nature, to have constant, ceaseless, unbroken joy is our nature. Satchit Ananda. That is existence and consciousness and blissfulness. So, this is our nature, this is our true identity. But we are constantly bothered by the traits of the mind. Now, if we can become free, there will be peace and joy which is already there inside us, which will be radiating effortlessly, unhinderedly. So introspection has to be done. What is hindering me? Remove them. We have been also discussing in many ways that what hinders are the desires, ego and possessiveness, the attachments. These are the ones which constrict our mind. So, when this vichara, introspection is pursued well, so I was saying that pursued well means what? You have to give time to it. You cannot think that you will think for 5 minutes or maximum 10 minutes and you feel that your mind will become light and free. You have to go deeper to find out the disturbing traits in the mind. Disturbing traits. Some minds are such which always are anxious. Some minds are such which always are fearful. Some will be always fault finding. Some will be always critical. Some will be having lot of self-pity. And these are the things which agitates the mind, that disturbs the mind. And all these traits, they stem from desire, ego and possessiveness. So what we have to do in introspection, we have to go any incident which has taken place, be very unbiased and start thinking, why did I get affected? The other day, one devotee was telling some incident and saying that somebody told me this, X told me this, another Y told me this, I got very affected. Now, yes, when somebody tells something harsh or something which we feel that should not have been told so strongly, then we do feel bad. But the introspection should be that the person has said like this. He has said because either he could not control or he is of that nature, talks like that alone. Why is it that I am getting affected? Why should I get affected? I am getting affected because I am expecting that everybody should talk to me in a nice manner. Our expectations, that is called desire. You know, the desire is not only desire of making a house, buying a beautiful car, or getting many things in life, name, fame, etc., money, property, wealth. That is of course a desire. But desire can be this, the subtle desires, that everybody should talk to me in a very nice manner. Nobody should talk to me in a harsh and strong manner. These are expectations. And when that is not fulfilled, we get upset. So for a spiritual seeker, what is the introspection? The introspection is this, that why am I getting affected? I should not get affected. If what he or she has told me is true, I'll introspect. If it is true, I'll remove it from my nature. If it is not true, then it's okay. I need not be affected. So, this is called the introspection when it is done with mind hours, seriously, sincerely, and subtly. The introspection should be very subtle and sharp. So, vichara tikshnata metya. So, when the vichara becomes subtle and sharp, dhihi pashyati param padam. The buddhi, the dhi, the intelligence, pashyati, sees, param padam, the supreme abode. What is that? That is one's inside. Within oneself, the imperishable self is there. And when the vichara becomes very well done, one understands that my identity is that of unaffectedness. I am basically unaffected. But because my mind's responses are like this, and I identify with my changeful mind, etc., I am feeling like this, agitated and disturbed and affected. So, vichara tikshnata metya, when the vichara becomes subtler and subtler, dhihi pashyati param padam, one goes and gets merged into one's own self. Dirgha samsara rogasya vicharohi mahaushadham. The dirgha samsara roga, this samsara roga, the worldliness, which constantly gives us affliction, misery, it gives us joy also, but the joy goes away. Mostly we will find that whatever joy also is there, it is connected with fear of losing the joy. So where is any kind of sthirata, peace in our mind? Even if you are delighted, we are thinking that, after some time that will be over. So, this is the worldliness that we have. The mind is constricted, mind is burdened, mind is always under fear and anxiety. This worldliness is the Dirgha samsara roga. There is a very long, unending. It is unending. Actually, from the time we start understanding, say at the age of 5 or so, we start understanding, till the body falls. So dirgha, so long is the period of this worldliness. And what is the mahaushadam for cutting us under that disease? Samsara roga, the disease of worldliness, or treating this disease of worldliness. What is that? It is called vichara. Dirgha samsara rogasya vicharohi mahaushadam. So vichara or introspection is the remedy, is the medicine, is everything for this samsara roga, the disease of worldliness. This is Rama is being told by Vasishtha. Now, knowledge always helps, strengthens and supports the efforts of a sadhaka, seeker. Why Swamiji is saying this? All that he has written in the previous lines, which I also explained a little bit with this sloka and all that. So this is a knowledge. We don't get to hear this knowledge everywhere unless the gathering is of spiritual seekers, those who are talking to each other regarding this, or the Sadguru or a Mahatma is talking to us. We don't get this knowledge. What knowledge? That you are the self, you are not the body. And this, all the ananda that you look for from the outside world, the ananda is dependent on outside objects. But if you go within, there is an ananda which you are. That is independent of any object, because you are that ananda. And to understand that, to get that ananda, do introspection. Observe your mind. Observe your mind and see what is disturbing you, what is hindering you to get merged with that ananda. Say, I want to go to the door. I am sitting here, I want to go to that door. Now, I start walking towards the door, but there is a big curtain in front. To go to the door, I will have to first remove the curtain. Then only I can go and enter that area. Similarly, what is hindering our mind so that the self which is there, the self-effulgent radiation and the spreading of the ananda which is already there, we are not able to understand, because all these afflictions of the mind, disturbances of the mind, various kind of desires, various kind of anxieties, fear, etc., which we like fools indulge in. We indulge in. And that is why we are not able to get that ananda. Now once we come to know, he is saying, the Sadguru is saying that have a mind exercise, observe your mind, do introspection, never fail in that. Never fail in that. Just like to nourish your body, you are taking food, you are taking water, your lungs needs air. This introspection is necessary for your mind and intelligence, so that you remain in permanent peace, permanent joy. Knowledge always helps, strengthens and supports the efforts of a sadhaka. One learns theories from practical life, which are then tested every day through living and interacting. So, we learn we have many situations, many incidents, and we find that in interaction, the mind is always shuttling between either happiness or unhappiness. Sometimes it is very peaceful, sometimes it is very angry. So we are constantly find that our life in this world gives us these two pairs of opposites. Now, when we have this knowledge that I am unaffected, basically, in all these situations, we can try to test ourselves whether we are living that knowledge or not. Maybe we will feel few times, but every time introspecting, reflecting upon, was I successful in remaining within myself? Did I become affected or unaffected? Was I swayed away by what all happened, or I was still composed with my repeated introspections, the practice of introspection? Have I progressed in being composed, equipoised in over the time? Have I been successful? So this is how we can actually, for all seekers, this constantly looking into one's mind. See, we are all very active. We cannot keep on thinking throughout the day, because we are also involved in many engaging, involving work regarding our profession, regarding our running the house, regarding many things. But whenever the mind is free, and it becomes free, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and in that free mind, what we do, we start thinking of many things, of the past, of the future. What is the practice to be done? The practice should be, you love going inside. Say if we are taking bath, nobody to disturb us, but we will be thinking of many other things of the outside world. We don't go inside. Similarly, say we are taking food, wearing our dress, maybe walking to the bus stand or driving the car. We can think like this, where we deal with ourselves. But mostly we are habituated to deal with the outer world. And it's not our fault, because we have not been taught to do so. From childhood, nobody has taught us that, see, there is a world inside also. Which parents tell the child that, see, everything is outside your feeling, but there is an inside world also. So, dip into yourself. Dip into yourself. Sometimes think. See, children, sometimes when they don't get anything to play with, neither there is a plaything, nor there is a playmate. So they will sit, especially in the vacations. Oh, I am getting bored. Oh, I am getting bored. Then what the parents will do? They will go for an outing. They will buy something and bring, either food or toy or something which the child likes. Which parent tells the child at that time that you will never get bored if you start looking into yourself. You start asking yourself, why I am getting bored? What is this boredom? I was feeling happy this moment, and now suddenly I feel bored. So what is this? Why they are coming? See, he will not be able to get reply himself. So he will come and ask the parents. Now parents, neither they don't know themselves, nor do they have time to give the replies. So this has been for time immemorial. Parents are like this, children are like this. We have never been taught that there is a beautiful, magnificent world inside us, till we come to a spiritual person. We get introduced, we get exposed to spirituality, and very rarely it happens, very rarely one takes interest in that. That all is by God's grace. Devanugraha hetukam. Shankaracharya has said, Devanugraha hetukam. By God's grace alone it happens. So, what happens then? So, Swamiji is saying that you can test yourself. Our ancient spiritual texts are eternal sources of knowledge. Rely upon them as the best teachers. Suppose you do not have the fortune of meeting one realized master, read the text, the scriptures, they are the best teachers. But mere reading of the scriptures is not sufficient. Reflect upon what is read and assist until the process results in assimilating the truths. Once assimilated, they will begin to underscore your values, visions and attitudes. So mere reading is also not sufficient, and similarly mere listening is also not sufficient. Whatever you read or hear, you must absorb. You must assimilate. By what? Again by reflection, introspection, and live that knowledge. Live that knowledge. Then only there is a greatest benefit. Then everything, all the attitudes, the worldly attitudes will change. World will remain the same. Only the attitude which was worldly earlier, called worldly disease, it will change into spiritual splendor. The world will remain the same. Only thing, your vision and attitude will change. It will become spiritual splendor, remaining in the same world. Vedanta points out that one has to grow in one's mind and intelligence. So Vedanta tells us that it is not just worship. Vedanta is beyond religion. In religion, we worship gods and goddesses. There are worship methods, worship rituals, and actually speaking, all that, the manner in which our Vedas tell us to do the worship is only to understand, to be prepared to take the knowledge of Vedanta. That is how you can become liberated ultimately. But there also, unfortunately, we are not told or explained why we are doing a worship. What are these mantras? What do these mantras mean? How am I to take these mantras within me and absorb it and grow in such a manner that ultimately ego will drop, desire will drop, possessiveness will drop, and I become ready to realize the self. So Vedanta points out that one has to grow in one's mind and intelligence. In just worship, we just do the worship, light a lamp, incense sticks, bring flowers, bring fruits, chant some mantras, maybe take fast. We are not using our mind and intelligence. But our scriptures have told us to use the mind and intelligence, understand what we are doing, and be purified by these, the acts of rituals and worship, so that we can realize the self. The sky is the limit for this inward growth and expansion. Sky is the limit. You can grow to any extent, like the sky, the space. There is no end to it. Every day and hour of life, no matter what it brings externally, must bestow sufficient depth, loftiness, and expansion to one's mind and intelligence. So every day, when we get up from our bed, till we go to sleep, we are active. We may sometimes sit quietly also, but the mind is active. So whatever activities we are going through, whether mental activity or actual physical activity, many things will come, so many events will be there, so many moments will be there, and all those are external. But it must bestow sufficient depth, loftiness and expansion to one's mind and intelligence. Whatever happens, all the activities that we do, if we introspect, use our mind and intelligence, we will find that by our reflection and introspection, we are able to go to deeper and deeper depths. Even the mind which keeps on thinking, we will be able to understand why it is thinking, what rubbish it is thinking, what meaningless things it is thinking, what should it think instead. All these things, when we introspect ourselves, will make our mind gain depth, loftiness and expansion. Here are some values and truths which, if you assimilate, will enrich and empower you. So Swamiji says that, Swamiji has given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, some points for, actually this is a letter written to somebody, for that person to take this as very, deep instructions, very, very important instructions to him. The first is, first of all, Swamiji says that it will, if you assimilate this, it will enrich and empower you. First one is, the wealth of the mind is the real wealth. We may think that if we acquire money and keep on increasing our savings and bank balance, we have enough property, that is wealth. No. The wealth of the mind is the real wealth. You know, there is a sloka which says, सकलभ वनमध निर्धनाः तेऽपि धन्याः निवसति हृदयेषां श्रीहरेर्भक्तिरेका. It says that सकल भुवनमध्ये, in the whole world, nirdhanaha tepi dhanyaha, those who do not have any money, they also are blessed and fortunate. Dhanyaha. Generally, one who doesn't have any money, a poor person, nobody will say that you are blessed, you are fortunate. But our seers, our wise people are saying that in the whole world they also are dhanya, fortunate and blessed. Why? Nivasati hridayesham Shri Harer Bhakti Reka. Because in their hearts, they don't have money or wealth as such. Still they are fortunate because they have that supreme wealth, which is what? The bhakti towards Sri Hari. In their heart, they have that supreme bhakti for Sri Hari, which is the greatest wealth one can have. Greatest wealth. That bhakti, that is constantly remain united with God, never forgetting that I am God's. God, I am yours, I am yours, I belong to you, I belong to you, nothing is mine. With that thought he lives. Then in Bhagavatam, it's being asked, Uddhava is asking Sri Krishna, Kim Dhanam? And Krishna is replying, it is in the 11th skandha. Uddhava is asking many things like this. What is this? What is that? How do you define this? How do you define that? So like he says, Kim Dhanam? Nrinam Dharmaha Dhanam. That is, for human beings, dharma is dhanam. And what is dharma? So now the question comes, Krishna is replying to Uddhava that for human beings, dharma is their dhan, wealth. So what is dharma? Again in Bhagavata it says, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma samprasidati. So what is dharma? Dharma is the wealth, understand. So what is dharma? It says that for men, savai pumsam, for the men, human beings, supreme dharma, paro dharma, paraha dharma is what? Yataha bhakti radhokshaje. When one has bhakti for the Lord, the Supreme Lord, that is called the Supreme Dharma. The same thing, सकलभ वनमध निर्धनास् तेपि धन्याः तेपि धन्याः निवसति हृदि येषां श्रीहरेर्भक्तिरेका. In those people in whose heart there is bhakti for Sri Hari, the Supreme Lord, even if he has no money, no wealth, he is considered to be the dhanya, the blessed, the fortunate. Because for any human being, the dharma is to cultivate bhakti for Sri Hari in the heart. We have in the heart, what do we keep? Our family, our children, our prosperity, our wealth, our plans, our qualifications, our capabilities, and our prestige and all that. In our heart is full of only that. I, and mine. Dharma is, yes, all these are there, no doubt. But we associate all these to the one who has created all these things, one who has given us all these things. The dharma is to remember him, be merged in him, constantly be united with him, nitya yuktaha, with whom? The Creator, who has created my body, also the family, my children and everything, human beings around me, everybody's body, everything, my intelligence he has given, my mental power he has given. All that I have been able to do in my life, if I have achieved anything, unless he had given me the capability, I would not have been able to do. That person is blessed, that person is fortunate who remembers it. And that is the dharma. Every human being should. Actually, bhakti is not that you go to temples. Bhakti is not that you every day do rituals unfailingly. Bhakti is to live with that knowledge that I am yours, O God. I belong to you alone. Nothing is mine here. Only because you are making me do, making me enjoy, that is why I am able to. So, savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshaje. And that bhakti, what kind of bhakti one should grow? Ahaituki, without any motive, unconditional bhakti. It's not that I have given you so much puja, so you keep my family well. I want my daughter to be married, my son to get a job, I want promotion, and I give you puja. Not that. Not asking anything, without motive, without any condition. I love you, I have bhakti for you. That kind of bhakti. And apratihata bhakti. That is, your bhakti will not dwindle. Anything adverse has befallen, so your reliance on God, your surrender to God becomes feeble. No. It is given by Him. As He gives me ananda, so He gives me dukkha also. As He gives me joy, He gives me sorrow. As He gives me success, He gives me failure. That is constantly remembering and remaining with Him. Yayatma samprasidati. If we have this kind of a bhakti, that is savai pumsam paro dharmo. Kim dhanam? Nrinam dharmaha dhanam. Dharma is dhanam. And what is dharma? To cultivate that kind of bhakti which is unmotivated, which does not become less or unhindered. And if we have this kind of a bhakti, we can grow in us. Yayatma samprasidati. The mind becomes peaceful, my dear children. These are the words of saints and seers. They are constantly telling us, do this, then your mind will be peaceful. What do human beings need in this world? To be peaceful, to be fearless, to be confident, to be unaffected. That is what we need. Being the owner of the mind, do not fail or lag behind in becoming richer every day. External riches may vitiate the possessor, but the inner riches will never corrupt anyone. So, the mind is mine. One should become the master of the mind. And every moment you should be enriched with all the happenings, all the situations you have faced. So, all these things will come from what? Introspection, reflection. External riches may vitiate the possessor. If one becomes too rich, sometimes it's not good. It may vitiate you. It may make you very proud and egoistic. You feel that you can talk in any manner to anybody. So, external riches may have those outcomes, but the inner riches will never corrupt anyone. The inner riches will only purify the mind. It will liberate the mind. Have confidence, hope, and reliance. All these are mind's own qualities and enrichments. Do not fear or doubt. In very difficult moments, in these you should write somewhere in the room. Paste it. When mind becomes low, when mind becomes afflicted, these are the words of a Sadguru which will give us strength. Have confidence, hope, and reliance. Reliance on what? Reliance on that Supreme who has created us. He gives everything. He has given everything. That is why we say, I am yours. I have nothing. Everything you have given me. I am doing things because you are making me do this knowledge. And this reliance we must have for the Supreme Creator or the Providence, both in the worldly life as well as spiritual life. In worldly life, whatever comes, it is His prasad. We cannot be complaintful. Look at the trees. Look at nature. Look at the trees. It gives so many. Say, this is the season of mangoes. So in our ashram, there are so many mango trees, and this time the crop is quite much. The other day, one after another, 2 branches of mango tree just fell down. Why? Because there are so many mangoes, the branch which is quite thick could not bear the weight of those mangoes. So you can understand. But suppose we cut the branches, or maybe even say this episode, the Creator decided to break the branches, so the 2 branches have fallen. Not the same day, after about one week's gap. So the Creator has given pain to the tree. Or we ourselves with our axe and all that, we cut the trees, prune them. Even if we do so, next year it will give us fruit. It will not say that you had beaten me, you had cut me, I will not give you fruit. Their reliance is like that. Whatever God gives, it's okay. God has broken my 2 branches. It's okay, still next year I'll give you fruit. And for whom is the fruit? Look at nature. Nothing of the nature uses the things that they bear for themselves. The trees do not eat their fruits. The cow does not drink its own milk. The water rivers, they don't drink their own water. It's all for others. Similarly, God has created the best of beings, the human beings, given mind and intelligence also. We too should be for others. But we are not like that. We are not selfless. We are mostly selfish. So that is why the mind is constricted. Have confidence, hope and reliance. All these are mind's own qualities and enrichments. Do not fear or doubt. Be open, wholehearted. Avoid pretensions. In the sphere of the mind and intelligence, there is ample potential for such enrichment and elevation. So what are the qualities that a person like Swamiji is saying? Confidence, hope, reliance, fearlessness, doubtlessness, openness, wholeheartedness, and you avoid pretensions. So, when we read this, when we hear this, it should be our aim to grow in these qualities. Am I so? No. Maybe 40%. Then try with reflection of one's own thought processes, speech, behavior, interaction. Every time we come to know, if we have a sincere wish to grow in these qualities, we will reflect upon, oh, I was 40% earlier, now I think I am 60%. Now I think I have gone to 70%. Like this, if we do, then the mind will become light and transparent. To realize this is the first attainment as well as goal for any seeker, any thinking individual, especially seekers. So to realize this is the first attainment as well as goal for any thinking individual, especially seekers. So seekers, when we talk about self-realization and self, I am the self, I am not the body, we can repeat it in ourselves. But how to reach there? How to live in that knowledge? In growing these qualities. When we grow these qualities in ourselves, automatically we are actually going towards that realization. Whenever so needed, close your eyes and look within. Now Swamiji is telling a process. Whenever so needed, close your eyes and look within for the right guidance and inspiration. Glow in the supreme light which engulfs and graces everyone, more so the fond believer and dependent. That is, when you are seriously wanting these qualities to grace you, whenever you find time, make it a habit to sit at least 20 minutes. This is what Swamiji says. Sit 20 minutes at a place and look within yourself. Observe your mind, closing your eyes. Love that process. Enjoy that process. The mind will become quiet and quieter. And what does Swamiji say? Whenever so needed, close your eyes and look within for the right guidance and inspiration. Glow, mark this word, glow in the supreme light which engulfs and graces everyone. There is a supreme light is there. Just like the supreme joy is there inside us, this Satchit Ananda. We have that our own light, own radiation. But as I told you, there is a curtain made by us with our disturbances and agitations of the mind. So, sit somewhere for at least for 20 minutes. Try to look into yourself and glow in the supreme light which engulfs and graces everyone. If you are a true seeker, then every day, through every situation, you are irresistibly driven towards fulfillment. This is what? This is a very, very important word, a sentence. The manner in which this takes place may not always be clear to you. If you are a true seeker, for a true seeker, a sincere seeker, what is necessary? To become quiet and quieter in the mind. That peace will radiate when there is no disturbance. The joy will radiate when there is no disturbance. So, how will that happen? When you are sincerely yearning to reach that state, every day through every situation, you are irresistibly driven towards that fulfillment. Actually, we want that state where the mind is liberated, free, not affected at all, delightful, glowing with the radiance of the self. But we find that so many thoughts, so many ideas, they come and grip us and does not allow to reach that state. Swamiji is saying how to become fulfilled. So he says that consider every moment, each situation that you face to be a blessing. When any situation you face, you find that you are disturbed or agitated or you are thoughtful, restless. At least you are not peaceful. Then you have to think why it is so, as we have discussed earlier. So unless there are disturbance-full situations around you, how do you test yourself whether you have progressed or not? So that is why each and every situation that you are in, if you take them to be a practice, to be a blessing for you, or a situation given to you to understand and test yourself, you will be irresistibly driven towards fulfillment. Because you will find that in every situation, you are now understanding that how the mind is becoming agitated or disturbed due to some kind of ego, some kind of attachment, some kind of desire, and you know how to go beyond it. How to go beyond it. The manner in which this takes place may not always be clear to you. So, you may not understand. You may think that, oh, today was a very hectic day. Today was a very bad day for me. I had this kind of interaction, that kind of interaction. Nothing went right today. That's very good. If you are a seeker, then each and every incident that took place, you start thinking about it and feel that, oh, I got affected. I should not get affected. Why should I get affected? And try to find out the root cause. You will find that it is always some kind of desire or some kind of expectation. Just like we expect that this situation, we always expect all the situations that I come across should be all right for me. That will never happen. So that openness, the acceptance to anything, you have to stay in that knowledge. And only when there are too many incidents coming around you, you can test yourself. Just like I was talking about the devotee who said, X talked to me like this, Y talked to me like this, and I got affected. So I was discussing with that person. You should be very happy that these two incidents happened. So you know that you get affected by somebody's speech. Suppose they came and praised you, you would be very happy. That time you are not thinking that why is it that I am becoming happy. What we have to introspect and reflect is that neither I should be too elated, nor I should be depressed by anything. You will thus always be led to what you rightly deserve and need. Also, what you are led to is and will be what you rightly needed or need. Have this either as faith or as an understanding. So have a faith. Okay, if you do not want to have a faith, at least it should come to you as a knowledge that we get whatever we deserve or need. And whatever we have got is what we rightly deserved. Whatever we deserve, always think, suppose you don't get what you wanted, feel that I did not deserve it. That is, the Supreme Creator, the Supreme Power feels that I don't deserve it. So we have that acceptance. That doesn't mean that we should be lazy. We should stop doing work, thinking that, oh, it is His wish. No. He has also told in the scriptures that we should work well. Samachara, work very well, with full energy, full heart, wholesomely, wholeheartedly, excellently. But do not get attached to the outcomes. If you get attached to the outcomes, we get attached to the outcome which I want. And that is why we become sorrowful. We should know that the outcome can be anything. Whatever comes, I have to accept. That is why I say that your mind can delight you even without any objects. Let the cheerful mind be your possession. With that, overwhelm every external situation. This is the way available for all to find peace and happiness. That is why I say that your mind can delight you even without any object. Let the cheerful mind be your possession. So, we should possess a cheerful mind. Every moment we should see whether we are cheerful or not, whether anything is taking away our cheer. That is why the Jivan Muktas, the realized souls, even if around them something very grave happens, they are not affected. They also shed tears. They also laugh when there is laughter. But with neither they are affected. That is why I say that your mind can delight you even without any object. Let the cheerful mind be your possession. With that, overwhelm every external situation. This is the way available for all to find peace and happiness. Okay, so this letter is done, and now I think I'll be coming live after we return from US, as you know, with Swamiji. I'm accompanying Swamiji to USA on 2nd, and we'll be coming back, I think, the beginning of July. So, I don't know how you like these. I like them very much. So many things to learn. And I just wanted to tell you this, then only I'll stop. I was telling you that in Uddhava Gita, in the 11th skandha of Bhagavatam, Uddhava is asking Krishna, what is this, what is that? Where he asks, Kim Dhanam? And Krishna gave a reply. There are many things, because I told that shloka, sakala bhuvana madhye nirdhanas tepi dhanyaha. That is, those who do not have any wealth, they are considered to be poor. But they too are blessed if they have bhakti towards Sri Hari, that wholesome bhakti, the bhakti which is ahaituki and apratihata. Now, Uddhava asks, Kaha daridraha? Who is a daridra? Daridra is a poor person, but one who does not have any wealth. Kaha daridraha? Krishna is giving a reply, Yaha asantushtaha. The man who is asantushta, the man who is not satisfied, the man who is not contented, that man will be the actual poor person. Because when the mind is contented, mind does not want anything more. A poor person will always want some money, something. Even rich people, having lot of wealth also, they keep on thinking that my wealth and property should increase. And who is a daridraha? So, who is an actual rich man? One who is santushtaha, one who is absolutely contented. And kaha daridraha? Yaha asantushtaha, one who is not contented. That person is actually daridra, poor. Kaha swargaha? What is swarga? We always feel heavenly delight. We'd like to be in heaven. We don't know what is heaven, but we say like that. Kaha swargaha? Swargaha sattva gunodayaha. When the sattvika gunas increase, that is heavenly. So, all the practices that Swamiji has told here, and all the qualities that he has spoken of, and at the end, what is Swamiji saying? Let the cheerful mind be your possession. Sattva gunodaya. That is, all the sattvika qualities should be increased. Then it will be like living in heaven. Okay. Sampurnam jagadeva nandanavanam sarvepi kalpadrumaha gangam vari samasta vari nivaha punya. I think I will not chant. I'm not able to chant. So that is also another thing. God had given a very sweet and melodious voice, and now he has taken it away. Oh, that's okay. What can be done? I love to sing, I love to chant, and now the tunes go here, tunes go there, not under my control. So, Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru.